This is The Launch, episode 37 for October 14th. No, really? 2025. What the heck? Streaming from the beautiful Pacific Northwest and the mighty American West Coast, we greet you all a good morning, a good evening, or whenever your timeline may fall, time-appropriate greetings. Indeed to one and all. This is The Launch, and my name is Chris.
And I'm Angela.
Hello, Anchors.
Hello.
We got a lot to do today, so here's a few things everyone should know. We'd love it if you call us. You can do it live or after the fact and leave a voicemail. That phone number, it's 774-462-5667. That's 774-462-5667. You also can join the show live on a Tuesday, 11:30 a.m. Pacific, 2:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. UTC, over at jblive.tv or in your favorite podcasting 2.0 app. And it comes out on a Wednesday morning. And links to what we talk about will be at weeklylaunch.rocks. All the good resources over there. Now, Andrews, yes. I know you had Amazon Prime on the mind, and it's interesting you brought it up because it's been on my mind, too.
Oh.
I was chatting with a rather intelligent individual, and they have decided they are canceling their Amazon Prime membership. So it's been on my mind recently. What's the value I get in Amazon Prime? So you said this morning you wanted to talk about it.
Yeah. Well, who's the intelligent person?
Well, I don't want to reveal.
Oh.
But you know them.
Oh. Is it you?
No. You should. That'd be hilarious. It's a very smart and handsome person who makes very good decisions. I don't know if you heard, but old Bezos' company is recently doing a big payout.
Amazon paying out a historic settlement. The company agreeing to pay $2.5 billion to settle with the Federal Trade Commission over allegations that it tricked customers into signing up for Prime, and it made it hard for them to cancel. Now, Amazon did issue a statement saying their executives have always followed the law.
Oh, of course.
And a settlement allows for the company to move forward.
Yes, of course.
Now, Chairman of the Federal.
Of course. So I'm just curious, what's on your mind when it comes to the old Amazon Prime?
Yeah, so I saw, a month and a half ago, something about how Amazon Prime is going to be changing some things, specifically around shipping. So I was like, oh, okay. So then I noticed I placed an order last night, and I placed an order a week ago. And the only option that I had was to pay $6 for mediocre delivery.
That's $6?
Yeah, or $12 for the next day
or 2 days. Are they shipping it from the Ukraine?
Well, yeah. So I was like, oh, well, this is I did expect that, and I don't really mind paying more in some instances. And there's a free option, right? So I hit the minimum or whatever. So there was a free, but it was going to be 4 days. And I'm missing that 2-day shipping.
That's more like Amazon Slow, not Prime.
Yeah, right. So when I placed an order last night and it's not going to be here till Sunday, I was like, what the heck is going on? So did you stop paying for Prime? So here's what happened. They changed it. Whoever the primary Prime register person is, whatever that address is, if it's not going to that address, you got to pay.
Yeah.
And that's what happened to me.
Oh, yeah, right. So, they took away the family Prime sharing stuff.
Yeah, I had, and the thing is I have not been gaming the system. We were married.
Yeah.
That's when it got set up, a long time ago.
Hadiya had this set up with her friend when they used to be roommates, and they just still had it going.
So, yeah, right? Okay, because that's the other thing is now you can sign up for, I think it's called Amazon Household or Amazon Family.
Oh.
And it includes
got a new name.
1 adult and up to 4 children, right? And so I thought, who's your other adult? Shouldn't it be Hadiya? Shouldn't Hadiya be on your Amazon Prime now?
Probably, yeah.
but it's me.
Oh, yeah.
And you use, I think, the studio as your primary shipping.
Yeah.
And that's not my house. So I can't, yeah.
Wow.
And the thing,
they're cracking down because they want you to create your own.
And I'm going to have to, right? Unless you want to ship stuff to my house.
Not really.
Oh, okay.
No. So, I don't even like shipping it to the studio.
So I'm not exactly, yeah, right. I'm not riding on your coattail here, but I just had to set it and forget it. Who even... So, yeah, it dawned on me when I Googled this morning what the change was, why they did it, and it makes sense.
I don't know, I suppose. I mean, it feels like it's a perk now that they've... Prime, it used to be nothing and now it's like $130 a year or something like that. The cost of Prime is going up.
Oh, is it really?
I think. I haven't looked recently.
Yeah.
So
I have no idea
like,
because I've never paid for it.
It feels like for the cost of it, $139 per year or $15 a month.
Oh, okay. Because I saw for $13.99, like they have a special promo right now or whatever, because they are messing with a lot of people. I thought that was for the year.
It just feels like at $140, that kind of stuff, they should let you put 5 people on your shipping.
Right?
I know. It's me assigning arbitrary value, but
maybe add Dia to yours, or do like the Amazon family or household.
Yeah, she and I are gonna have to talk about it now because they're changing it. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Ugh.
I just boost in, audience, and tell us if you're a Prime user, if you're canceling Prime, if you don't use Amazon, who do you use instead?
Right. Well, and we saw Netflix do this recently too.
Yep.
For sharing passwords and such.
Yep.
So yeah, what do you do?
What do you do? When I was traveling to Texas and back, it's interesting. If I wanted to order something to Amarillo, I could get it like the next day. But if I wanted to get it delivered to Aurora, which is a area in Denver, it was 3 days for the same thing, and it was a battery charger. It's not even an odd item, and it's just crazy how you can have such a radically different experience. So I'm sure there's some people out there that have horrible Amazon experiences.
Right. Well, and I've never been able to get the Amazon Prime Video working ever. Like I've never been able to watch Amazon content. Yeah. I don't know why, but probably because I wasn't actually a Prime. I don't know.
Maybe, but you'd think that would still work.
I know. But also, secondarily, if we had a show last week, there's a different update that I would like to provide.
Okay.
So my car, which has been a subject since the beginning. Yep, my Subaru Ascent.
Ascenting?
It was losing air in the back driver's side tire.
Yeah.
Right? And so it lost 3 pounds, and I thought, okay, I'll refill it and see. And after like a week, it lost those 3 pounds again. So
jeez, my front passenger tire is losing that in a day right now since the trip.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, so these are new tires. I just got them back in April. Remember, in preparation for that California trip.
Maybe are they under warranty?
They better be.
Yeah.
But so here's what I did. I made an appointment with Subaru. I had hit 30,000 miles finally. So I scheduled a 30,000 mile maintenance, which I only found out once I brought the car there that it was going to be $900, right? Which is ridiculous. Lots of check this, check that, or whatever. But it included a tire rotation. So when I made the appointment, when I got there, and when I talked to my normal person, I told all 3 of them the back rear tire is losing air, right? They rotate the tires before they check it. They're not going to know what, or maybe, I don't know. I don't know what rotating tires means. To me, logically, it would be the front tires go to the back in the reverse, and then they also switch sides, right? Even wear. That makes sense. So when they called me and said, hey, your car's ready for pickup, I was like, great. So what was the problem with the tire? Right. So I'm trying to figure out, did I run over something? Should I just pay for a new tire?
Stem leaking
or did
something?
You fix it? Yeah. Well, so I did have a stem leak in one of the tires, but it's because they installed it improperly and messed it up. But anyway, so there was no notes about checking the air. And she's like, oh, hang on a second. I'm like, oh no, did they not check? Because they've rotated the tires.
And now you don't know where it is.
Yeah. I mean, unless there's a standard procedure,
right?
Like I just said,
right.
So it should be front passenger side,
right? Yeah, right.
That would be logic. Okay, so I don't know which tire they checked, but there's no problem. I got this car back a week ago. When I was picking up the car after they supposedly checked it and didn't find anything wrong and put equal air in all the tires, she went to the person I work with went to walk me to my car. And she's like, oh, hold on a second. And she left and then came back with a valve stem cap, right? For my back driver's side tire.
Okay.
I left it at the chevron that I filled it with.
Yeah.
So how coincidental is it that the same tire that was losing air that I didn't have a cap on is still the back driver's side?
It didn't rotate.
So I told her, I'm going to be really pissed if this continues to lose air. It means you guys did not rotate my tires. Maybe you tried to find the leak or not, but maybe you checked a different tire because
we would know because there's no notes.
Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm down 5 pounds now, or 5 psi, and they are. I have to bring it back sometime this week, which is such a pain in the butt. I don't want to do it. And she's like, "Well, it's okay. I'll just get you a free tire rotation." Free, lady? I paid for it.
Yeah, really.
I paid for it.
Yeah.
So anyway, this is my ongoing battle. So if you have any information on what a tire rotation is supposed to be like.
Yeah, what is a proper tire rotation?
Yeah, I'm like, I think I just have to I really want to take my car to the dealership that I bought it from. Like, that just makes sense to me. I took the Acura to the Acura dealership.
Yeah. But it might not be a good dealership.
Subaru just has not been good. I've
always been really bad about tire rotation because there's always these secondary problems I've had when I take it to a tire shop. Like they rotate them, but they don't actually tighten them down properly. And then I discover like a day later that my wheels aren't properly tightened. I've had that happen to me. I've had them leave equipment like on the tires or in the engine bay, even though they shouldn't have been in the engine bay to rotate tires. Just happened to me again recently. Remember it happened to us years ago?
Well, it happened to me with my Dodge Spirit.
Yeah, I know. I've had that happen to me just recently happened to me.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That is
crazy. And like, you're rotating my tires. Why are you under my hood?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Right.
So it's like, I just, this last set I got, I had just never got them rotated. But they need to be fixed. So, yeah. Boy, I'd love to hear from somebody who's a tire. I know, is this a thing? Are people out there in tire enthusiasts? I don't know. Boost in and let us know. Get the Fountain.fm app if you want to make it easy. Fountain FM hosts all the lightning stuff for you. Or if you want to get into the fun, into the weeds, as they say, you can get AlbiHub, which is a self-hosted application. And there's all kinds of applications you can connect to Boost, like the Podcast Index, different apps, all of it. We appreciate that support. Okay, so there is a lot of people these days discussing if we are in an AI bubble. In fact, I would say the conversation has shifted to say, yes, we are in a bubble. How long will the bubble last? It's kind of how people are talking now. And there's something that has also changed that hasn't gotten a lot of attention, is these deals with these big AI data center deals and whatnot are now being announced in gigawatts instead of in numbers like $10 billion. They're being announced in the amount of electricity they're going to use.
Huh.
And just at the end of last week, OpenAI and Broadcom struck a multi-billion-dollar deal to co-develop and deploy 10 gigawatts of custom Broadcom AI chips that are going to be competitors to NVIDIA. This is actually a huge story. I'll explain why. I'll play a little bit of the coverage, and then we'll get into it.
Shares of Broadcom higher top of the market today after announcing a new deal with OpenAI to deploy 10 gigawatts of custom AI chips over the next 4 years as OpenAI looks to lock in the chip supply and infrastructure to stay ahead. Our Mackenzie Sagales has more on that in today's Tech Check. And Mac, maybe you can summarize everything we've been seeing lately, because OpenAI has announced a number of deals like this.
Yes, they have. So for 18 months now, Sam Altman and Broadcom CEO Hock Tan have quietly been working on custom AI chips to compete with the GPUs made by NVIDIA and AMD. Now it is official. OpenAI is teaming up with Broadcom to co-design and deploy custom accelerators, one of the largest infrastructure commitments we've seen yet. A person close to the deal tells me that unlike its deals with NVIDIA and AMD, no equity is involved. Plus, the chips are expected to be roughly 30% cheaper than current GPU options, with OpenAI controlling everything from transistor design to full rack deployment.
All right, did you catch the weird thing in there that she mentioned?
I don't know. All I can think of is great Scott.
Yeah, really. No equity involved. So I want to talk about this. There's several things to talk about here. Is the amount of power usage we're going to look at, how they're quantifying these deals in gigawatts now, and how these deals are getting structured. So let's start with the gigawatts thing. That's maybe the least interesting, so I'll just knock it off. Companies like OpenAI have started announcing these massive infrastructure deals. Broadcom isn't the only one. OpenAI also announced a giant deal with AMD last week that's 6 gigawatts, and they also announced an NVIDIA deal that's 10 gigawatts 2 weeks ago. And Oracle also has a deal that's been announced with OpenAI, but the gigawatts aren't clear. And then also, OpenAI announced several smaller deals, like 1 gigawatt and 10 gigawatt deals with different data center companies. So why are they announcing them in gigawatts, like the NVIDIA one and the AMD one and the Broadcom one? Well, as you know, gigawatts a measure of power consumption rather than, obviously, money. And the idea here is that now the most scarce thing in building out the AI infrastructure, the biggest bottleneck is power. Not the funding or the manufacturing of the chips or anything like that, but the power capability to get there. Electricity limits the growth as far as they're concerned. They say these AI data centers could consume 4.4% of U.S. power.
Oh my gosh.
rising 3% yearly by 2030, needing 80 plus gigawatts of new capacity in total if all these deals were to go through.
Holy moly.
And there's really there's nowhere near that kind of spare power in the grid. So when they announce these deals in gigawatts, what they're doing is they're signaling to the broader market that, hey, we're going to need all this infrastructure built out.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to need all this infrastructure. Look at all this massive investment in infrastructure that you're going to have to build. Now, why are they focusing on infrastructure that you're going to have to build? Because it is a counter narrative to all this bubble talk. Are we in a bubble? Is it all about to burst? Are we not? There's analysts that see it either way.
Mm-hmm.
Here's an example of someone that says, not only are we going to see a burst, but it's going to hurt the consumers. It's going to hurt average folks.
Again, the thing that we're concerned about, we haven't even talked about this yet. It's actually, I think, one of the more sort of value adds piece in our op-ed, because the bubble conversation is pretty much ongoing. The thing we're concerned about is not so much that these companies, especially NVIDIA, can't defend their investments. It's the extent to which regular mom and pop investors are getting into this bubble in a way that's, should it pop, if it pops, we could have a really large negative wealth effect. We're talking hundreds of billions of dollars. This is the idea that, you gain $1 in stock market wealth, you spend an extra 3 cents. That's the wealth effect.
Right.
So what really took down the economy in the dot-com bubble was in part a wealth effect, which was actually quite small. Any contraction in GDP there was minimal. This is a lot bigger. So we're worried about the extent of investment relative to where we were back then. And
so you got one class of investors saying it's going to pop, it's going to go away, it's all just ephemeral. You have another class of investors saying this is just getting started. And the reason OpenAI and others are announcing things in gigawatts is because it implies to the broader market, look at all this infrastructure that's going to be built out. So even if some of these ideas don't work out, just think of all the power that's being built out. That's real infrastructure that if you invest in will stick around.
I still think that the AI cycle, I think we're still early. I think it's still got legs. And all of these new deals that we've been seeing announced, they actually, I think, have the effect of extending it even longer. Most of these don't even start to ship until the end of next year. So if you're worried about, air pockets or digestion or anything like that, it's clearly not this year. It doesn't seem like it's next year. And if these big projects don't even start to ship until the end of next year, it's probably not 2027 either. I think we've got some runway on this still. So we still like those high quality AI names.
So how do you even, make sense of it? It's hard to tell. I mean, there is good things, like we do need to invest more in power, and it would be great to see these rich tech companies use some of their profits to build out power infrastructure, even if they use predominantly a lot of it for their own data centers. If that play doesn't work out, that power inevitably will probably go back to the grid. So there's something to that there, but if you look in, there seems to be like kind of some red flags that, to me, don't indicate that we're all going to see a big crash, but indicate it's something to be aware of. And this was actually summarized by Matt Levine in his newsletter. The OpenAI $100 billion investment assumes the scaling laws hold, that the market caps assumes that they break for everyone else. In other words, they assume that the scaling of technology holds, but that nobody else also gets the same market cap. I'll read the piece. It's actually really good. It kind of summarizes it. So Matt writes, what if you want, like you're Sam Altman, and you want $1 trillion? That's hard. You can go to, say, someone at Broadcom, and you can put your arm around their shoulder and gesture sweepingly into the distance and whisper, omniscient robots, omnipresent, always-on robots. And he might say, yes, here's all the money I have. But that's not going to get you $1 trillion. To raise $1 trillion, you need more than a compelling science fiction vision of the future. You need more than a world-changing product. You need a compelling science fiction vision of a world-changing financial engineering system. The financial tool is you go to Broadcom and you put your arm around their shoulder and you gesture sweepingly into the distance and whisper, look at these omnipresent robots. And then they whisper, yes, and you say, we're going to need a few $100 billion of chips and equipment from you. And then Broadcom says, of course. And you say, good. And then Broadcom says, do you have hundreds of billions of dollars? And then you whisper, omnipresent robots. Then they get enlightened. And then you announce the deal, and Broadcom stock adds $150 billion of market cap. And then you say, see? And they're like, yes. And you're like, Omnipresent robots. And they're like, I know, right? And that's the financing tool. In some loose postmodern sense, OpenAI has borrowed hundreds of billions of dollars from Broadcom. You can buy hundreds of billions of dollars of equipment to build the robots to sell for the money to pay for the equipment because you've gotten everyone to believe. In other words, the money comes from the announcement raising their stock price, which generates cash for Broadcom, so then Broadcom can turn around and invest some of that into the deal. And OpenAI never spends a penny. Now, that seems like if the stock prices don't stay high, it's not going to work forever. But it's a really weird system where they can announce a 10 gigawatt deal that's worth hundreds of billions of dollars, but there's actually been no exchange of money. It's this really weird system where they're using essentially the stock profits that they get after announcing the deal. That, to me, is a little bit of a red flag. But there is they have a counter argument. You get data centers, you get power generation. These things will be useful even if the AI revolution dies out. But also, they argue that unlike the dot-com bubble where there was things like pets.com that were unsustainable, they argue that there are users for this. In fact, there is as much demand as we can possibly deliver. As much as we can give them in capacity, users are eating it up. And I think there is some truth to that. Like, I don't really see myself using less of these tools. I don't use them a ton, but I probably use them, a steady amount throughout the day to do little things here and there. And I don't really see myself walking that back. I don't know. Have you gotten into it anymore at work?
No, I've been wanting to. No, actually, I was going to try to utilize it pretty heavily for the Linux Fest Northwest stuff, but I haven't yet. I did get Gemini recently.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, but I haven't started a conversation yet.
You could also use it to generate images. That's fun.
Gemini?
Yeah. It's fun.
Nice.
Or like remove people from an image or a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I had a great picture of Lady Jupes, but there was an outhouse in the photo. So I just put it in there and said, can you remove the outhouse? And
wow.
Yeah, it was great. Huh. Yeah, I look at this and I think something probably, so these are all like pie in the sky Sam Altman dreams. And some of this probably is just a little, crazy because the total commitments right now for OpenAI are something like 26 gigawatts, which would be more than I think New York City uses during peak power use. In fact, if the math is right, it's 2 times more than New York City would use during summer at the hottest with everybody's AC cranking. And when you say things like that, when you say it uses more than all of Singapore in power, or it uses all of New York City, or it uses 2 times the power of New York City, that's the total amount of power that has been committed to OpenAI in the future. I think it freaks people out.
Yeah.
And I think people are worried about boiling the ocean, and they're worried about climate change, and they're worried about the impact of the environment. And I think I wouldn't take them at their word. I don't think you're going to see 26 gigawatts. Maybe we get to 10. Wouldn't it be incredible if we got to 15? But there's no way we get to the future without generating a lot more power. Even just the next 10 years, if say we wanted everybody to have an EV in their house, you're going to need more power. And if you want to get people off of natural gas for heat, you're going to need more electricity. And if you want them to have 2 of their cars to be EVs, you're going to need a lot more power. If every household in America is going to have 2 EVs, you're going to need a lot more power generation. Mm-hmm. And if we're going to have a lot of AI, we're going to need a lot more power generation. If we're going to do Bitcoin mining, we're going to need a lot more power generation. If we're going to have warp speed in transporters, and if we're going to have replicators and holodecks, we're going to need a lot more power generation.
Wow. Okay. Whoa.
We're going to get there.
I was stuck on the Bitcoin and how the Bitcoin farms were like a huge thing. And how does this compare today with the AI, proposed?
So the Bitcoin, this is actually a really interesting dynamic because the Bitcoin miners have a decade head start on the AI data centers. And the Bitcoin miners have spent that decade figuring out how to get the cheapest power, which is often renewable power, and how to get stranded power and how to get these deals with the power providers, the utility companies, where they can buy and sell back power when the grid needs it. So some of these large Bitcoin mining companies have opened up AI data center wings because they're like, hey, we know how to do this. Yeah. And they've become AI and mining companies.
Yeah. Partner.
Some of them have been bought out. Some of them are competing. It is an interesting dynamic. The miners in Bitcoin have a kind of a head start, but it is the power proposed by AI makes it look like a child's play in power usage. And it's It used to seem like such a huge deal, but it's nowhere near 26 gigawatts or even 10 gigawatts.
Yep, AI's like, hold my beer.
Yeah,
to
really.
Bitcoin.
But that's the thing, is every decade or so, we're probably going to see a tech that comes along and it's just like that.
Of course.
So we got to get to fusion, I guess. And, you know, but the thing is, we were talking about in the members pre-show, one of our waste sites here in Washington has been going through battles to do cleanups. Like, nobody wants these massive power plants in their backyard, but you don't get to 26 gigawatts without building a few nukes.
Mm-hmm. Right.
They're going to have to go somewhere. And, you know, there is a lot of open territory. Having just driven through Wyoming and Montana and western Texas, there is hundreds of miles of nothing at all. Not even cows.
But the world is overpopulated.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, so there are spots where you basically go from tank to tank. You fill up your tank.
Oh, yeah.
And
right?
you see
and you
nothing
barely make it.
till the next tank.
Yeah.
There's plenty of room out there. Put a big solar grid out there. I don't know. I ain't your keeper. But I'm saying get out there and build something. But I just look at this and I think people are going to panic when they see these numbers. We're never going to get all the way there. It's probably going to be somewhere in the middle. It will strain some systems, but that will also incentivize local laws and local businesses and large businesses to improve things. So it's going to be a process. It's going to be a painful process because we spent the last 30 years underinvesting in this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When we outsourced manufacturing, we dramatically reduced the need to invest in our infrastructure like this because manufacturing is one of the largest users of power until these things came along. And so nations that have been doing a lot of manufacturing have very robustly invested in power generation, like China. We have not, and now we're going to pay the due. But we got a lot of rich tech companies. Maybe they can help pay the bill a little bit. You know? So that we get your chat bot. You got to have your chat bot. What do you say? It's been a minute. Do you feel like should we do a song?
Yeah.
You feel like doing a music track?
I mean, that's typically. Mm-hmm.
I mean, these are very special. They're value for value tracks. So if you boost them, the artist and the team get the sats.
Now's the time. It's the song of the week. Remember, you can boost the track. They sure like that.
Yeah, and this one, it goes to kind of a team of people. This is MOOKY, which I think maybe we've played on the show before. I think I've played on This Week in Bitcoin too. Great artist. And this is the track Low Life by MOOKY that is presented by Hash Power Music and Cannabis Records.
Sounds like a real big jerk. Is this the imaginary part? The musical number where I fall apart. You're teary-eyed happy, but pain plays a part. And here I am. I'm done feeling the atmosphere with fun. Take back your clever comebacks and puns. I wanna walk out of this convenience store. 13 cigarettes. I'm a low life, baby, don't you love me? I'm a low life, baby, and a junkie. I'm a low life. You better run away fast before I clean up my act. A tornado on the night that I met you. These twisted moments look convenient, more taboo. I told you one day I'd be back for you. Oh, one day I'd be back.
And now, on with the show.
Well, I'm just going to make a quick call to the launch. I haven't checked in since yesterday. 774-462-5667. That's it. All right. 774-462-5667. Call now.
Yeah. Call now. We did get some voicemails while we were on hiatus. 4 voicemails. And our first one comes from Brenda.
Hi. Is this the lunch? The cable access show? Yeah. Hi, my name is Brenda. Listen, I missed the show last week, but my neighbor Carol, she was saying you guys were talking about, was it wife mayo? Yeah, I think that's what she called it. Said she heard it over on that brunch show you guys do. Anyway, I really need that recipe. Could you maybe give it out again or send it? Okay. Thanks.
You're welcome, Brenda.
Wife mayo.
Yeah.
The mayo that Hadia makes?
Yeah,
that's funny.
I mean, it's good mayo. In fact, this may be the best tip ever given on this show. I'm gonna give you the recipe for wife mayo. I think you should save this. It's the best mayo. It will break you. You will not be able to go to the store and buy Best Foods and put Best Foods mayo on your sandwich anymore. I'm warning you right now.
Yeah. Dylan is already in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's good mayo. So I'm going to give you the recipe. It's simple. It's easy. I had the wife record it for us.
All right. Here's how you make wife mayo. You take a wide-mouth mason jar. A pint is fine. You put 1 large egg in the bottom. If you do smaller than 1 large egg, you have to decrease the amount of oil. So stick with 1 large egg. 1 cup of oil, neutral oil. We use olive oil. Then you put in a teaspoon of mustard. You can do prepared mustard, like, yellow mustard, or you can do mustard powder. They're both good. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, a splash, so it's probably a teaspoon, maybe slightly more, of lemon juice, and then any other seasonings you want in there. Garlic powder is great. Really anything you want. You can make it smoky, put a little bit of smoked paprika in there. Minced garlic is great in there too, depending upon how you want to use your mayo. Then you put your immersion blender, your stick blender, all the way to the bottom and start zhuzhing it. And the first 10 seconds you stay on the bottom because you're getting that egg all mixed up because that's sinking to the bottom. And then you slowly raise it to the top. And this should take about 30 seconds total, 10 seconds at the bottom, 20 seconds coming up, and voila, you have mayo.
Boom.
Okay. All right. So here, first of all, the white and the yolk, because she just said put your egg in the bottom and it's raw.
Yeah.
Raw.
Raw.
So we can eat raw eggs and not worry about salmonella. How long is this good for?
Yeah, it does not last as long as like the Best Foods. I think we usually use it for a week.
Okay.
But it also, because
Can you tell when it's gone bad?
Yeah, it kind of starts, the fluids kind of start to separate.
Oh, okay.
Like
okay.
the oil.
Separation, of course.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, it doesn't taste as amazing. Like it's an incredible taste.
Mayo is disgusting, so.
I tell you, something about this, it adds like on a sandwich. It's just killer. There you go.
I stick with cream cheese.
Ooh, all right. Magnolia Mayhem calls in.
Hi, it's Magnolia, and I was just listening to this week's episode of The Launch, and the power went out at my house, and so I figured, laptop's dead now. So, what's your favorite thing to do when the power goes out, huh? I think that would be a good thing to call in.
My favorite thing is kerosene lamps.
Oh,
Don't do it, but I would love kerosene lamps. I just love frickin' kerosene lamps in the dark. What's a go-to move when the power goes out for you?
Well, so it depends on what season it is. Right?
Oh yeah.
If it's cold like right now, it is camping out in front of one of the 2 gas fireplaces. The kids sleep in my room where there is a gas fireplace.
Yep, get near the heat.
How funny is it that, I don't know, like a decade ago, I found out that I can actually take a hot shower when there's no power? Like, that's so stupid. I have a gas water heater.
Well, not everybody.
So,
some people have electric, yeah.
Yeah, but I had no idea. So, one time when the power was out for like 4 or 5 days, didn't shower, didn't know.
Dad's house is, as far as the kid's concerned, is lame in many ways, but one of them is that there is no power outage.
Right.
We have battery bank, we have solar, we have a generator, so... in fact, there have been times when the power has gone out, quote unquote, we didn't know.
Oh, sure.
We just didn't because
of course.
It just switches over to battery. So there's not a lot of fun to be had there. But we do have a got to stretch the batteries mode that we go into.
Right.
And that's a lot more
lame.
Well, it's just, candles and propane heat, like the furnace instead of using like the electric heaters or the electric fireplace because our fireplace is electric.
Yeah. Candles would be so cool, but I'm allergic to candles. Like, I just can't. That would be cool, though.
Call in and tell us what you do when the power goes out because there is something fun about it still.
Yeah. It's mostly draining the iPads.
Yeah.
Right? Like, the kids and I stayed just at the top of the stairs sitting on the carpet last time, just playing, on our non-Wi-Fi required apps.
I don't think it was last year, but like the year before, power went out a lot that year here at the studio.
Mm.
And it's almost like worth getting a Jackery or one of those little batteries that you can charge devices off like for a week.
Right. Yeah, before storms, I always charge a bunch of things just in case.
That's really when it happens here in the Pacific Northwest is fall.
Yeah, and in fact, I need to light the pilot lights of these fireplaces.
Yeah, it's that time again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to get very windy and cold just this week. It comes very, very fast here in the Pacific Northwest. And we have had some whoppers.
Mm-hmm.
In the 90s, we had a storm that took power out for some places for how long? It was like,
I think
for you,
my house was
2
like
weeks?
6 or 7 days.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it was, but
for
it
us,
was
like 4
it was
or 5.
Christmas time.
Yeah, yep. So we've had some whoppers. Call in or send us a boost and tell us what you do for fun during a power outage. Mark called in.
Hello, my podcasting friends from the Great Northwest. This is Mark from Northern Michigan checking in. It's been a couple weeks. Want to call one about what's my theme? I would have to say my theme is hoodies. All things hoodies.
Nice.
I am the hoodie guy. I want to be buried in a hoodie. I have too many of them. Ask my wife. Anyhow, other thing I wanted to shout about is I finally got an Albi Hub set up.
Yeah.
Kind of sort. I got it set up, and oh my word, was that like crazy. But I got it set up, and somehow I think I got some kind of sub-wallet thingy set up somewhere with about 20,000 sats. But then I had to move on to other things because there's light. And
One
now
step
I
at a
got
time.
back into my Albi Hub, and I can't find those. And I still haven't figured out how to connect to the launch or Jupiter Broadcasting. That's next. Any tips there would be greatly appreciated. Have a great Texas Linux Fest.
Thank you, Mark.
Later.
Also, congratulations on getting Albi Hub going.
He lost his wallet.
Yeah, so the sub wallet, this is tricky. So when you set up the sub wallet, like I created one for Angela, it shows you the credentials once. As the owner of the Albi Hub, you can no longer get access to it. That's how it's built. It's intentional that way. So that way, like, I can't go steal Angela's sats. So you no longer get access. However, I'm pretty sure Albi support could probably help you with that. There's probably ways because they're all in wallet files, inevitably. But you don't need to use the sub-wallet functionality just for an Albi Hub. It has a primary wallet, which you could use, and it's probably a little simpler. The sub-wallet feature is awesome, though. Really, really great. But unless it's for somebody else, if it's just you don't really need to take it.
Mm.
And I would chat with support. They'll probably get those sats out of there for you.
So you have a sub wallet set up for all the co-hosts?
For you and like a couple others. And yeah. And that way, so in Lightning, this is just super quick, but you have to provide liquidity for the incoming sats and outgoing sats because you're opening up these channels between other nodes and you commit some sats that way they can move across the channel. And that even just explaining it is confusing. So expecting other people like yourself to have to manage that is a non-starter. So I manage it at the top hub level, and then all the sub-wallets can take advantage of my channels.
Nice.
So yeah, it's great. It really is great. Mark called back with something else.
Hey guys, this is Mark from Northern Michigan calling the second time. I just got off the phone, but I forgot something. My wife and I just scheduled our first ever cruise for next year.
Ooh.
We've never been on a cruise and we're in our 50s. But anyhow, we are doing the Alaskan cruise starting in Skagway, or I think it's somewhere up near Anchorage, and departing in Vancouver. Since you guys are up there from the Great Northwest, is there anything you would recommend extending our trip in Vancouver when we disembark the ship to spend some extra time? Looking for advice. Later.
I've always wanted to do the Alaska cruise thing.
Okay, yeah. So is it departing from Vancouver, Washington, or Vancouver, Canada?
No, Canada, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think so too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, I can't really think of anything in Canada that would be worth.
I mean, you could show. Yeah. Nice.
But downtown Seattle still has some good attractions.
You could pop down. It isn't that crazy.
It's really not.
I do know that Stanley Park is a big thing, but you want to be there in the morning, I've been told, because it gets very busy. There's also the Granville Island Public Market, which is kind of like our public market. Very cool. There's also an aqua bus that can get you around to some of that kind of stuff. There's lots of good spots for lunch.
Oh, Ipanemas.
Yeah. I will link in the show notes things to do in Vancouver on a cruise stop. I know.
In downtown Seattle is Ipanemas.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, that would be great if you wanted to show up a day or two early. Thing is, which you really got to tell us with these kinds of questions, Mark, is when. It makes all the difference in the Pacific Northwest.
It sure does.
Yeah. So you said next year. So I'm going to kind of assume summer, which could be a great time to pop down, or check out the aqua bus in Vancouver. It can take you to some great spots for lunch. And the guide that I will link for you in the show notes. Mm-hmm. Thank you for the call. It's good, and I hope you really enjoy the cruise.
Yeah.
You after setting up your own Albi Hub, I'd say you definitely earned it. All right. Thank you, everybody who called in, and please do call in and leave us a voicemail.
7 boosts to go.
And we got some boosts to support the show, and our first boost comes from Mr. Turd Ferguson.
Turd Ferguson!
And Turd's coming in with a big duck, a 22,000 sat boost. And Turd writes, good show. I enjoyed the Bigfoot talk. Felt very Pacific Northwest. Any plans for more? What are classic? Give us some Pacific Northwest classic topics, because we are born in the area, so to us it's just normal. You got the Hanford site. You got Bigfoot. There's been some crazy UFO stuff. There's some military bases, including an important submarine base. Listen and tell me what you'd like to hear. I think I want to go to the Bigfoot Museum, so I may do one more Bigfoot episode.
Mm-hmm.
If I go to the museum, I just might.
Definitely.
It was fun. Bigfoot is an interesting one. Outdoor Geek comes in with 5,000 sats. I think from a gift perspective, and to backtrack to a theme, I mainly receive Micro Center gift cards. So my theme is DIY computers and electronics.
Oh, okay.
That's good.
Micro Center.
My grandpa has very much created a culture of just give him cash or gift cards to like Amazon or a computer retailer.
Mm-hmm.
And if you give grandpa something other than that, what are you doing? Like, you're rolling the dice. Don't do that. Like, you could try, but it better be really good.
No, your Grandpa Fisher?
Yeah.
So every year you would give him some piece of equipment that you weren't using anymore.
Yeah.
And I can still just, what is this?
Yeah.
How does this work? And then you're schooling him on it.
Yeah, that works. If you have a nice piece of hardware, he'll take it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll keep it running forever. Thank you for the boost, Outdoor. Tabby's here with a row of ducks, 2,222 sats. My theme was lime green for a long time, having acquired a bit more taste.
Lemon lime.
Okay, lemon lime.
Do you see the lemon before the green?
I thought maybe it was a lime. Okay, lemon lime. Ooh, that is rough. But after acquiring more taste and a wife, that no longer works too well for decorating or clothing. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, so is it color or taste? Okay, a bit more.
I think it was because
he said a bit more taste. Because I'm thinking Mountain Dew, and I quit Mountain Dew like 8 years ago.
No, it's talking clothing too. Although I bet Mountain Dew sneaks in there because it's green. Oh, that's just wild.
It's the same color that they use at the hair cutting places to sterilize the.
Also,
I have my Mountain Dew right next to it. I'm like, okay.
Also, the same color almost of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles mutagen.
Yes.
That turns the turtles into mutants. So watch out for that.
I mean, I was partway there.
Where is Aaron right now?
Aaron boosts in with 3,333 sats.
Aaron.
Oh, and it has created another AI song gem for us. Should we give it a little premiere here on the air?
Okay.
This one's called Penguin Power.
I like a penguin. It waddles in the snow. I like penguin. It knows where to go.
I could see this like on like a movie, like a penguin movie, like you see a bunch of penguins.
Absolutely.
Montage.
Send that to Disney.
Yeah. Thank you, Aaron. Appreciate that. Thank you, everybody who boosted in. We had you sat streamers stream collectively 32,555 sats, just streaming while you listen. Thank you very much. When you combine that with our boosters, it's a humble but appreciated 48,180 sats. If you'd like to boost in, you can do that with Fountain FM or perhaps Albie Hub or one of the other ways. We really appreciate everybody who does support the show with a boost.
Boy, they are doing a lot with mayo these days.
You never know. You might get a great mayo tip if you keep us on the air. It's the only way. Thank you, everybody. Or, of course, a big shout out to our Jupiter Party members. You also make the show possible. We do it for you.
Chris found a gem, an easy flip. Let's cash it in. It's barely standing, kind of scary, but potential's extraordinary. Just trust me, it's a winner. Just trust me, it's a winner.
Okay. So I have not clicked on it. I do not see it. I mean, I started seeing something on your screen, but I'm not looking at it. I see it's in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Which is where my mom and sister are.
Right.
So,
right.
Will I actually be interested in this?
I mean, if you're cool, yes. So
okay.
It's great. It's a little expensive, but you got to think long term with the housing market, what it is. You know, in 10 years, it's going to be cheap. It's currently listed for a $8.5 million. And it is a very inconspicuous Las Vegas home.
Chump change.
At first glance, you'd think perhaps it's even a little humble, but what lies beneath will make you feel like you've traveled back to 1970. Concealed 26 feet below the ground is a 14,620 square foot absolute bunker estate built by a businessman and his architect during the Cold War, designed for sufficient self-living in luxury. 5 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, also has a dance floor, a theater, a putting green, an indoor pool, a bar, a sauna, and a programmable faux sky that recreates the feeling of being above ground.
Oh my goodness.
This is the coolest bunker. And what's crazy about it...
This is so cool.
...is it starts up top. I mean, it's just a regular house at top. So it's, I mean, like you look at it and you think, oh, this is, it just looks like, you know, the standard Vegas style, that outside stucco, whatever.
Stucco, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then it does have a bedroom up there and a kitchen, and it looks like
a quaint.
Yep, and a regular old bathroom. But then they have a fallout shelter door, and you open it up, and it leads.
It looks like Lost.
Yeah.
Like, it looks like a Lost
It's
thing.
a metal stairway,
Yeah.
hallway, down to this quirky, wild, retro, luxury bunker with a bar and neon lights for the open sign and felt seats that you can sit on, and then a ginormous, like, chef's kitchen.
This is crazy.
This is the coolest bunker I have ever seen in my life, and I was meant to live here.
It is really. Oh, they have a floor plan too.
Yeah,
they have a 3D tour and everything.
Yeah.
So Remy and I are reading the Silo series. I've already read all of it, but yeah, we're about halfway through the first book, and this would be so cool to be underground with the sky.
I know.
A fake sky.
And there's something I love about the fake house up top. Well, it's a real house, but there's something about, like, the property it's in a neighborhood. You wouldn't know this bunker is underground at all. You would just think it's this house with a decent-sized yard. And then what lies beneath is this... It almost looks like a Vegas shopping center in the way they've done the lighting. And the fake ceiling.
And no dirt.
Yeah, very clean. Faux
No, I meant like
trees.
A backyard. Like it's
it's
like a painted grass.
Yeah, it's fake.
Like there's no real grass.
Fake trees, fake grass, but they've created these areas. And then they've styled it with what nice furniture from the time. It has fireplaces, it has giant vents, it has a poker area, it has a pool table where you can play pool. It's got a giant dining area, and that dining area opens up to a faux outside room. There's also windows in the kitchen that open up to that faux outside area. It's like one of the nicest kitchens I've ever seen. It's crazy. I cannot believe how nice this is. And they have a great tour.
So how low would they go? Because
I know, right?
Holy moly.
Well, you got a jet bathtub. I mean, because you could live up top or you could rent it out. And then when the apocalypse comes, you just go downstairs and you've got and you don't even feel like you're inside because there's light coming in the windows. They've got a whole faux outside house. So when you're in the backyard, there's like a back to the house inside.
Wow. I love it.
This is so wild. I mean, if oh my gosh. If I were a Zuck or, an Elon, I'd be picking things like this up.
Yeah.
Hand-painted landscape murals, sculpted trees, and a retro 1970s design details a creative, immense, and immersive time capsule setting unlike any other. $8.5 million. It's a bit steep, but it's in Vegas, right? So you're close to family, right?
Yep.
I mean, maybe what you do is you rent out the top to family, and they help pay for it.
And where does Jubes park?
Oh, there's probably space.
Yeah.
There's definitely enough space in the bunker. So there you go. I'm putting that out there. If somebody wants to buy that and send that into the show, go ahead and do that. All right, that's about it. Links to that and other things we talked about at weeklylaunch.rocks. We'll be back next Tuesday into our regular groove, so we'd love it if you showed up. You could also subscribe to the show in your favorite podcast app. It's a little hard to find because the name's generic, The Launch. Try putting an exclamation mark in there. I don't know. Or go to the weeklylaunch.rocks and get the RSS feed. All right? Jeez. All right, Andrew, say goodbye.
Say goodbye.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And we'll see you next week. From the beautiful Pacific Northwest and the mighty American West Coast, thank you for listening, and see you right back here next week.